You know what? We never have authors on the show. Never. Everybody has a new book. Everybody wants to plug something. But then when you have a slash.
I like slashes.
Slashes are different because, slashes are okay. You got the book, then you got a movie, then you got a singing career, you're pregnant.
What?
Tyrese is in the studio.
Oh, I was like, who are you talking to?
I'm talking about Tyrese.
Nice. You pregnant, Tyrese?
Are you pregnant, Tyrese?
I already gave birth, man.
Nice.
He talks about, his mentor talking about being pregnant.
Right.
And the struggle that you go through when you want to give up.
Right.
And he talks about so many other things in the book. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Hey, I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, man.
Honored to be here. Thank
you.
you.
Your plate right now. Did you plan all this to happen like this? The book and then a couple of movies, two of the biggest movies ever coming out for other ones?
To be honest, it wasn't a plan from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just as the timings kind of started revealing itself, I was like, yo, this is starting to look like or pan out to be two movies coming out in the same year, like 2 months apart from each other, a book and an album.
Right.
Because I just finished my album called Open Invitation. So it's just kind of crazy that 2011, all of these different things is happening. But it's all by the grace, man, the grace of the man upstairs.
Do you feel like when the creative juices start flowing, that's when it's time to kind of tackle everything, like the book and the writing an album and doing all of those things? I mean, did you start to write a song and say, this isn't really a good song, but this could go great in the book? I mean, and vice versa?
I don't know. The whole writing, I don't feel like I wrote a book. I wrote life, and it wasn't an opportunity to write a book. It felt like a responsibility, which is a completely different shift in the motivation. Like, at no point was I like, man, I'm gonna get some real extra money from writing this book. It was about me deciding that I have a problem with what people don't know.
Right.
And going to sleep at night doesn't mean you're resting. And when I go to sleep at night, I'm resting because I've gotten rid of all things and people that don't belong in my life. And so there's a lot of people right now who are on the receiving end of their choices. Like, man, these are the people you invited in your life. That's your man. That's your girl. That's who you decided to take the condom off with and have that unprotected sex because you wanted to feel it a little bit more.
Right.
And so now you got a baby and you mad at this dude and running around saying the worst thing ever and using your own kids as a pawn, as ammunition towards this man that you had this child with. And so it's all of these different things that you could never put in a song as far as I'm concerned. And so it's two different worlds, And then plus a song has the rhyme.
That's a melody.
It's so much more. Like, it was nothing like just venting and just kind of getting it out. And I didn't sit in front of a computer and manually type it out. I just spoke.
Right.
And so it reads like a conversation, and the best response ever has been from people who haven't read in 10 years, who don't even, no books keeps my attention. I got ADD, I go to sleep, I get sleepy, but it's been people that haven't read in years picking up this book, and it's been powerful. It's the most powerful thing I feel like I've ever done in my life.
So when you sit down and you reliving this stuff and the relationship with your mother and the men in her life, did you tell it all? Did you tell it all? Did you leave out some parts? Because Rob Lowe just wrote a book and the critics killed it because he omitted things that the whole world knew about that he had done and kind of skipped over them. So when you're reliving this and you're saying you're sharing your life with the world, did you relive it in your head and tell all the painful things about?
Well, the thing is, what people will notice, and even in the beginning of the book, my intention is no malicious intent to embarrass anybody, throw anybody under the bus, including myself. It's like, but how can I explain to you or try and be an example of how I got out of my own way if I don't put myself out there? My messed up choices, my misunderstandings, like most people that I know of had a problem with their childhood the way I did. But now you're an exact duplicate of your mother. you're an exact duplicate of your father. You're raising your kids or not.
Right.
And as if that same pain, like you forgot that pain, like your father wasn't there as a little girl or as a little boy. He just had sex with your mama and skipped out. And you carried that with you every single day. So now you just had a kid and you're doing the same thing to your kids and coming up with excuses. Like, if your name isn't President Barack Obama and your plate is that full, you have no excuse for not being there as a father for your kids, period. And so it's like, it's all of these different things. It's raw, uncomfortable truth that I put in the book. And it's called How to Get Out of Your Own Way. And I would love for y'all to get into them pages.
When we come back, we're going to take some calls, 741-WVE, talk about the movies coming out, and talk about Tyrese and something he said in Men's Fitness about the circle. The circle of friends that you have around you. And if you got some burger buddies, that's why your belly big. It's a B103.
Well, in the movie Waist Deep.
I went back to look at the scene today.
Yeah.
Because you talked about it in the book?
Yeah.
See, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, I gotta be real. I have to look at it.
My name is Flabby McNasty.
I was just because I don't remember seeing the movie and thinking, ooh, Tyrese is out of shape.
Because it was supposed to be like a tribute to Will, right? With him doing this.
This dude really read the book.
I'm watching it. I was like, man.
That shit messed me up, man. I go to Will's crib. I'm over there on some mentor and shit. We over there chopping it up. And he was like, I said to him, man, you know what's crazy? I thought about you, man, when I did that scene in Waist Deep when I was running up the street chasing that car when they had my son in there, man. And I was like, man, it's going to take my career to a whole nother level. And he was like, yo, this is crazy. I said, what? He was like, dog, me and my wife was watching Waist Deep in our movie theater. It was just me and her, and I was eating a thing of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. And after that scene came on, and we both seen how big and out of shape you were running up the street, we both looked at each other. My wife looked down at my ice cream and then looked back up at me. She took the ice cream out of my hand, and then I went and ran in 5 miles in the garage.
Wow.
He's like, at no point should you let yourself fall off and start looking like that in the movie.
Like that.
Put the fucking ice cream down and go fix this shit.
We got a
real
what are
problem
they?
on our hands.
What are they? I need more than just I love you. True story. It is your free money station, B103. How to get out of your own way. Tyrese is in the studio. Yeah. Just the whole slate of things he's got going on right here on the Ryan Cameron Show featuring L. Duncan, starring L. Duncan. And, you know, L and myself are always talking about how our circle, you know, I always talk about my circle. I just said this the other day. It's like, it's Cheerio size. Like, it's that small. Beautiful. Because it's the people, especially in your career now, you have no idea what somebody's motivation is, because I'm sure eventually it will all come out what they really want.
Absolutely. Today's industry, folks, women as well as men, groupie dudes.
Moopies.
Groupies.
We call them moopies. The male groupies. The moopies.
They're the worst.
The moopies.
These dudes are, they're charming. They're devilish charmers. They got all the charm, the gift of the gab, the energy, and then their mission is to try and create this illusion to convince you of who they appear to be. And then once you get past the smoke, then you're standing there looking crazy like, dog, who are you?
Right.
And what are your motives, and why didn't I ever see this coming? Because you got consumed in the personality and the energy of who someone appeared to be. If you've ever seen a magician in a show, notice how much they move their hands and how they're talking and trying their best to look you in their eyes while they're talking. It's all an illusion to try and get you to not pay attention
To the hand.
to what's going on.
Right.
It's like, how are you? Everything fine? Good to see you. Hey, ha, ha. Look, she's looking at me. She didn't notice that I just grabbed all this over here and it's all missing. It's like, and so that's what today's that's what a lot of today's folks are. You know what I mean? Like their motives are not genuine and sincere, and then it hurts. It really hurts. You know what I mean? Personally, it hurts business-wise, especially when you're aggressively out here, really just trying to rebuild yourself, elevate yourself, and go to the next level. I mean, I feel bad for people that go through this type of situation, man. I mean, I've been through it, you know, but I say it all the time. It's when someone shows you who they are, believe it. And you should thank God that these horrible people revealed themselves at $1,000,
no doubt,
instead of it being 100,000 or 100 million, because there's some whole other levels of robbery, as we all have seen in this economy with all these scams happening in D.C. You know, it's like robbing people is on a whole nother level of robbery. I mean, you running around, he got me for $10,000 and wiped my account out. Imagine if that was 10 million. I mean, it's serious out here right now. So I don't know. I just, again, I felt the responsibility to write this book and put it out there in the universe, and I appreciate y'all for reading and checking it out. And for everybody that's listening, that follows me on Twitter, that's already bought the book and got a hold of it, I just love y'all for deciding to make that investment in yourself.
Now I was going to ask you, with the Twitter, there's so many people that have a lot of followers, but their followers aren't active. With yours over 1 million plus, do you look at it and say, okay, I should have 1 million copies sold? Or do you look at
1 million copies sold of my book?
Yeah, like if all my followers went out and got my book.
You know what? To be honest, it's not really about the sales. I think if you're not in the space of transition, if you're not in the space of really wanting to sit down and look within, then the timing of you buying this book or even being interested in buying this book is just not for you. And so there's a lot of people out here right now that's not thirsty, they not on some groupie stuff, not clinging on, trying to freeload and ride a coattail. They like really sitting down, I'm smart, I want to do it, I want to work, I want to take my life and my career to another level, but I don't know how to do it.
Right.
And so I have a problem with what people don't know. And I don't know all the answers. You know, I'm not God. I've never tried to play God on any level. I'm a child of God. And so I've been through some stuff. And so I wanted to put it out there because I want people to feel, you know, like they can take permission to elevate themselves. Like you should look forward to meeting a better version of yourself.
No doubt.
You know?
I wanted to, as people say should be going through, but of course got Tyrese here in the building with us, Ryan Cameron Show. My best friend tells me just yesterday, I'm great at giving advice, and I suck at taking my own advice. Did you realize, or was it cathartic for you to kind of write this book and say, like, write everything out and say to yourself, okay, now that I've told these people, you know, this is what you should do, or this is what you can do, do you hold yourself even more accountable to do it as well?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, especially with this book in particular, it's such raw, uncomfortable truth. You don't want to be looked at as a dude at a podium, you know what I mean, saying some stuff and putting some stuff out there that's like bold truth right in your face. It's not politically correct. It's not safely spoken on. I'm like, bah.
Right.
And then you walk off doing the opposite. But at the same time, that's when human error kicks in. You know, it's like every single day, I'm still a work in progress. I'm married to God, and our relationship is a work in progress. I want to be more like him. I'm not like him all the way. I love him. I look at him as my source of all of my blessings, but I'm human. You know what I mean? And so even with this book, it's like I put it out there. I can't say that I don't know no better.
Right.
But if I end up making a mistake, that's because I'm human. Like this dude was popping in front of my child or something, and I just decided to jump off in his mouth.
Right.
Because that's just the way it is at that moment. Hopefully I won't do it. But if I end up doing, oh, you going to write a book telling people how to get out your own way, and then you just going to beat up the little valet man?
Exactly.
I'm human.
Right.
Why you got to bring LeBron mama name up, man?
Yo, you
Leave Gloria out of this, Tyrese.
Stupid.
Leave Gloria out
I
of
didn't even put this. I didn't even put two and two together.
We got Tyrese in the studio. Let's talk movies right now. Fast and Furious, April 29th. Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon, July 1st. First with Transformers. have you gotten a promotion?
Yes.
Okay, because you went from tech sergeant to master sergeant. Are you still a master sergeant?
I mean, I am still a master, but I got a promotion in my presence in the field. Yeah, let's put it to I'm still Master Sergeant Epps.
Okay.
And in Fast 5, I'm still Roman Pierce, and you know, I just had an opportunity to bring some humor and some energy to the movie that wasn't there. Big shout out to my man Ludacris, ATL. Y'all should be real proud of Ludacris, man. He really stepped up and made some things very significant happen in this movie, and y'all gonna be real impressed with the way he got down in this movie.
I'm excited that you guys because to me the Fast and the Furiouses are all good, but it's one of those things where you had when you and Paul Reynolds did it was like it was funny and it was fast paced, and then you have Vin Diesel he's very serious. Then you have the Luda element, but to bring all of those together was a lot of fun to kind of get more of the serious and the fun and a little bit of everything.
It was a lot of fun. And you'll see, I mean, there's a lot of dudes that's fly, swagged out, you know, the sex appeal and all of this, but it's like, it works, and this is the best one of all of the Fast and the Furious, hands down. I'm not just
That's
saying
what Chris said.
I'm not just saying it because I'm in it, like, this is the best one. The reviews have been crazy, the screen test has been crazy, and everybody walks away like, yo, we didn't know how it was going to work, but when you see it, it all works.
We got more coming up right here on your Free Money Station V103. It is your Free Money Station V103. That is like one of the most tweeted requests ever.
It really is.
Yeah, well,
Kelly
they should be happy.
Yeah,
I'm sure we checked out our acts and mentions that Lil Wayne and Kelly Rowland's motivation is high on the list right now.
Absolutely, not to be confused with Jeezy's motivation, which would have Thug in front of it. I'm sorry.
Tyrese is in the studio with us right now. How to Get Out of Your Own Way is the book. Now, when you sit down, like some people say, man, your life is, you ain't that old, bruh.
Right.
What is this? This is a life story? What you doing? You halfway through? You finna get out of the game? I mean,
no, never.
When you decide to do this, you have anybody say, yeah, I don't know. Or do you say that to yourself? Any self-doubts at all when you first start to put something like this together?
Listen, man, I used to wait in the parking lot for 7-8 hours a day. There was this parking lot, this shopping center where when people come out with their groceries, they push their shopping cart into this one section and a quarter would pop out.
Right.
And you wouldn't imagine how many people told me no. And so I'm not afraid of the word no. And I live my life unapologetically. Like, I don't need permission from you, or I don't need to feel the validation in order to do what God has put on my heart to do. Like at the end of the day, when you transition from one thing to the next, because people see you one way, they're going to have to wrap their head around the reality of you doing something else. And at some point, they're going to be like, okay, you serious about this? It's for real. Like, I haven't sold the most records. I've sold my records. And to go from music and transition into doing a movie like Baby Boy, if you look at the box office receipts on Baby Boy, it didn't perform that well in the movie theater. But you can't tell me you haven't seen that movie 15, 20 times.
100 times. You
know what I'm saying? And so it's one of them things where as you make a transition from one thing to the next, you can't expect everybody to be rooting for you as if they're already a fan of this new transition. It is what it is. All you can do is show up and be the best version of yourself as you make that transition and hope that, you know, eventually people will start showing up. So that's what's been happening.
I recently heard People Station V103 Ryan Cameron show, Tyrese in the building. I recently heard some audio, and I thought that what you said to Lala last year on her show, of course, about her hanging, you know, giving her relationship advice, it sparked a lot of controversy. A lot of people agreed. But a lot of people agreed with what you said. And then, of course, the Wendy Williams, you were recently on Wendy Williams, where you basically said, you know, that men and women have to understand that there are roles that men play in the relationship and roles that women play. And whether it seems fair or not, it just is what it is.
Right.
Can you kind of tell me what you're saying as far as because the headline says Tyrese says men are going to cheat, get over it.
Yeah, men are expected to cheat. I didn't get a chance to finish.
Well, she wrapped you up quick.
Yeah. But what about the? And I love Wendy. That show in particular did so much for my book, man, because it just sparked conversation.
Right.
And that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we planned on getting into anything controversial, but just in general, I want to just put this out there. Not all men cheat. Not all men are interested in cheating. Not all men have what I call the non-conscience when it comes to cheating. Like, it's like, yo, I love my wife, I love my girl, and more importantly, I love myself too much to give it away to any and everything that has a miniskirt. But however, it does exist. It's real, it's out there. And when I said it's expected more of men to cheat compared to women, women's upbringing is about being monogamous. It's about being a one-man woman.
Right.
You know, like what this is, you're in a relationship with that man. How many guys you end up having sex with before you get married, that's going to be on you. But at least you're dating and having sex with one man at a time. Guys, not all guys, but most dudes that I know, including myself, when I first got on the scene, it was like, look, we trying to slay as many as possible, and it's no emotional attachment like that. Like, it's just as easy as taking your shoes off, as harsh and as crazy as that is. And so that's why I wanted to put that energy out there in the universe. When it happens, don't own the cheat, because a woman will start looking down on herself and start owning, well, maybe it's because of me. Maybe my sex is bad. Maybe I'm not attractive enough. Maybe I'm not in shape. Maybe he don't like my food. And they start beating themselves up and getting all insecure, and they carry those insecurities into their next relationship. And so that's what it was about. I was like, listen, at the end of the day, you can't stop a man from doing ultimately what he wants to do. And your mama taught you to cook, clean, take care of your man, and how to keep him at home. That's a part of it. But ultimately, if he sees something he wants, even if you're the best wife or the best girlfriend there is, if he wants to go off and dip off, then that's just what he's going to do. And it's not expected of all women to agree with that. But at the end of the day, I'm a man, and I've been around men all my life, and those are the conversations, period.
We got more with Tyrese here, 741 WVEE. We may have a book to give away. Just stay close.
No, I think we got something. I think,
matter
of fact, I think we got 5 to get away.
No. Don't even.
Shut your
We're going to look at traffic right now and come back with more, man. It's B103.
Tyree's in the studio with us right now. We just got the green light to continue.
Good.
Gave us the green light.
I like that.
How to get out of your own way.
We're not scaring them.
As you know, I have 3 children. I tell my kids all the time, they're very appreciative of all the things that daddy works and goes out, and mommy works and does things for them. I always say to them, it's almost like a joke, but it's almost therapy for myself. Man, I wish I would have had a dad like me.
That's important. That's special. And more importantly than your talk of being a daddy, your walk is of a daddy. That is the example. Your kid's going to either duplicate your conversation or they're going to duplicate your actions. And I would much rather them duplicate my actions than my talk. 'Cause a lot of people can talk a good game. Like, it kills me sometimes how busy I am because I miss my little girl. Sometimes her mother calls me and my little girl is in the background screaming and crying, I want my daddy, I want my daddy. And there's nothing that she can say or do that can calm her down.
Right.
Because she's having a meltdown because she loves and misses her daddy. But I say to my little girl, and I say to all little girls and little boys that have a father or a mother that's busy, be patient. Be patient and know that if we didn't have to be this busy to keep the food on the table and keep you in these private schools and keep all of this personal training and all of these music classes and all of this stuff going, then we wouldn't be. And so I say to my ex-wife, I love you, and I just so appreciate you as a mother for stepping up and holding the fort down while I'm out here trying to get it. And just know this is all going to be over soon. Because it's going to be so much financially.
Right.
It's going to be so much security in the bank financially where, you know, when this opportunity, I ain't got to take it. I don't want to do that movie.
Right.
There you
I
go.
don't want to do that shit.
Well, my agent always talks about you want to get to the point where you have FU money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen,
Like,
somebody told me,
Convince you.
I got a new, somebody I've been hanging out with, man, that's just my new mentor. I won't say who. This dude told me, man, he made $280 a minute last year. Now, this is a multi-billionaire, successful, $280 a minute. Like, you should have never told me that.
Right.
That means, how many hours you sleep last night? Oh, man, I got me a good 8 hours in there. I'm just like, how many minutes is in an hour?
Right.
Right.
How many? I mean,
You're making money while you're sleeping.
You're making money while you're sleeping.
And they say you know, for a person who is in a successful situation, be it business, be it entertainment, I've seen so many people that have come back and said, you want to hang around people who have more than you.
Absolutely.
So you can aspire to be something, because everybody else is, you know, it's a difference when you have somebody who's had a $100 million conversation.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
You can appreciate that as opposed to an hourly conversation about, and not saying there's anything wrong with those people who make that, but I'm saying you got to say, wow. Like I was talking about this yesterday. I look at the Rob Report like that's my dream book.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, they got the house on the front. I'm like, wow, that's that's something.
The problem that I have with most successful men as well as women, and I'm just being honest. For one, I appreciate the fact that they give away their money to charitable organizations and situations, but when you just pay everybody's bills, you're not teaching them how to pay their own bills.
Right.
And so I believe my approach is, I want you to have the information, because once it gets locked into your mind and in your spirit, now you're going to strap up your boots and you're going to do the work. Listen, praying and coming up with these dreams and having these visions without execution and moving on them will leave you stuck in them dreams and them visions and them hopes. It means nothing if you're not moving on it. Prayer without works is dead. You have to do the work. If you're out of shape, it is physically impossible for you to be in shape if you don't go to the gym. You have to do the work, period. And so you want to graduate, you have to study, you have to sacrifice partying, hanging out to get the grades. You have to do the work. And so there's so many people that think they can make it to the top on talent alone. And so I deal with racism. I deal with people blatantly deciding because of the color of your skin, because of who you are, who you know, where you come from, I'm not going to give it to you. And so my mission is, I'm going to make you love me and you don't even know it.
Stop
because
right there.
where I'm on my way to, even if you tried, you can't stop me from getting to these blessings that God got my name on.
People Station V103, of course, Tyrese still in the building. I have to ask you this just because I'm, before you get out of here, I'm very intrigued by, your views on relationships, like I said before, especially in the book. But this is a much debated question around my house sometimes. Can a man still love someone and cheat on them? Can a man still love somebody but cheat on them?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course. In baseball, you got 4 plates. You can run to the first base, second base, third base, but you always got to get home. And you never want to lose the home plate. If you're in the spirit of cheating and moving around, you never want to lose the home plate. I love you the most, but I do have love and appreciation for these other women. And it's very unfortunate, but it's like, look, as a father, I would tell my daughter that, like, listen, as beautiful as you are, as special as you are, there's a likelihood that you're going to come across a man, whether you find out about it or not, who may be moving around on you. And you won't be oblivious. As your father, it's my responsibility to tell you any and all things and all the signs that can let you know if it's some moving around happening. But at the end of the day, don't own it. Don't make the cheat yours. Like, that's something he has to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And you should still stay special, educated, wise, God-fearing, all the above, and save yourself for somebody else who's going to be a direct reflection of who you are and not move around and cheat on you. But the other side of it is, and to take it on the spiritual side, this woman came from a woman. That's what shook me up. It's not really considered cheating until you're married, because cheating isn't even recognized in the Bible, because you're not supposed to be having sex until you get married. And so it is cheating, right? But it's not recognized in the Bible unless somebody can call up here and tell me something different.
Right.
It's like it's infidelity, but it's on the other side of marriage. And so it's like, you cheating on me. Well, technically I'm not.
Well, we don't want to cheat
great,
on
Tyrese,
we don't want to
you're
cheat
giving
on
another
the
excuse.
real
Don't do
reason.
that.
I'm not
Tyrese,
giving an
no,
excuse.
There's a
I'm
man
saying,
right now that's like, yes.
But no, I'm saying, like, listen, you don't have to agree with what I just said. You don't have to agree. A woman said that to me, and I sat back and was like, wow, that's crazy.
It's true.
Anyway.
We can't cheat on the real reason why you're here.
The phone lines is going nuts right now. No, you can't. No, okay.
How to get out of your own way. Tonight, Sister Chapel, Spelman College, 7 o'clock. There's a Q&A and a book signing, so go and meet Tyrese there, man. You know, just tweet out that you had fun on the show, man.
Yeah,
Of course.
Just send it out. Send some love out to you, to your
Twitter.
fam right here, man.
Of course.
And
Tweeple.
7/1/2011, Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon, and April 29th, Fast and Furious. New movies for Tyrese, man. Continued success and blessings, my brother.
Bless
We
y'all.
appreciate
Go
it, man.
download my book on Kindle, Nook, on iBook. Download iBooks on your iPad. It's a free application. I want you to have this book. I put my everything, and we can only talk about so much on this show, but it's raw, uncomfortable truth, and I did it for you. So how to get out of your own way. Make sure y'all go out there and support it. Appreciate you.
B103. Look at that.